So welcome everyone to the second Learning Culture Conversation with Curious Lion. Alec is an alumni of the first one, and we had a really interesting conversation. I think we could have gone on for 3 hours, and we had 3 topics. So one of the takeaways for me was to cut that down to 2 topics. I think everyone has a lot to talk about, and luckily enough, I have spoken and know all of you before. So I've got some notes to kind of draw on from our previous conversations, and I will kind of just kick things off with each of the topics and then kind of step out of the way and let you guys do most of the talking. And the reason I had to do a quick switch was because I spent the whole morning getting webinars set up on Zoom and then found out that you can't actually do breakouts on webinars. So it's actually just the traditional Zoom meeting, which was which was very weird, which I found out 10 minutes before this started. So we went back to the good old Zoom meeting, and here we are. Okay, so so let's get into a little bit of introductions. And we'll obviously skip Marsha for now. Everyone else is here. We've got Celine, we've got Alec, we've got Andy, and we've got Lisa. So why don't we just start from left to right? Celine, if you don't mind going first, and everyone take like a minute or two and just give us a little bit of background in, where you're working, where you're based, what kind of work you do there, and I think anything else fun that you'd like to share. Anything, I think what we said last time, Alec, was something that people don't know about you.
Yeah, something fun, right? A personal thing that's not just work.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to go first. So my name is Celine Jeremiah, and I work at Elastic. And if you are familiar with Elastic, we're a tech company. I think the easiest way to describe us is we're behind the scenes for a lot of basically big data search and analytics. So if you've ever searched something on Wikipedia, or if you've called a Lyft or an Uber, that's actually all powered by Elasticsearch, which is our main product. And on the learning and organizational team, I'm a learning and organizational development consultant. So focusing on a lot of different things here and there. Our team is still really small, so I've had the chance to dabble in everything from global learning programs to a little bit of leadership and development, high performing teams type stuff, and really excited to be here.
Thank you, Celine. Excited to have you here as a first timer. Alec, as our only alumni, why don't you go next?
Yeah, sure. Hold on, I have to ask Celine something though. So what's your something personal, Celine? Where even are you? Right?
Thank you for reminding me. I guess something personal that could actually still potentially relate to work is I just started the CTI coaching program. So I'm hoping to carry through with certification. It's a long process, but that's somewhat personal and I guess a little professional too.
Yeah. What does that stand for? CTI?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, it's the co-active institution for coaching, and they're a really well-known coaching federation that helps with getting certified. There's a bunch of different courses and trainings you have to do, and then you go into the certification process. But just decided to embark on that journey recently.
Nice. Company sponsored or on your own?
I believe it will be. I don't want to jinx it. But that's the plan.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where if you pass the test, they'll reimburse you.
Yeah, it might be something like that.
Yeah. I've dealt with those before. Cool. Well, great. No, thanks, Celine, for sharing that. Yeah, especially since I don't know what CTI is, but I love trying to find out these different things. So, coactive institution. Thanks, Andrew, for putting this together. I'm Alec. I'm based in Georgia. I normally work from home like everybody else. I'm actually in the office today because there was a big storm that just came through Georgia. All of my Halloween decorations have been toppled over. It's really fun to tell people my tombstones are in my neighbor's yard. That was the first thing I realized this morning. The giant spider that was on my roof flew off and he took some shingles with him. It was really interesting. And I'm sad I'm not at home because I have decorated my work from home space really, really well for Halloween. It's quite spooky. So I'm sad I wanted to be on this call with that behind me, but the internet was down. So a bit about me. I love the personal piece. You can obviously tell I love Halloween. I'm big on my family. I have a wife and a little boy. He's 3. And he's just super, super fun and cool. Love watching him grow up. And I love music. I've been a DJ and a musician for longer than I want to admit, 25 plus years. And I love listening to music, going to concerts, playing in bands, writing songs, being a DJ lots of weddings, all kinds of stuff. So if you ever listen to a song and you really love it, send it over. I get obsessed quickly. Now, as far as professional goes, I've had a really interesting journey to get to where I am, which I won't go into, but I'm currently a training consultant is my official title. Basically, I'm a facilitator of training. I work both internally with new hires, which I love. I love working with new hires and onboarding and getting people excited about the company I work for, Risk Connect. But I also get to work with clients. So I train them on our software. We have a risk management solution that's built on Salesforce. So what I basically do is teach people how to use Salesforce and do a lot of reporting. And it's a lot of fun. I like to have fun at work and I make it fun and it's cool. So that's me. The last thing I will say is at work, I'm very engaged with the culture team. We call it the colleague engagement committee. We're the ones that are really steering the culture at the company. So for example, I pushed for Juneteenth to be a holiday. That's going to start next year. Our company will have Juneteenth as a holiday for every American employee starting next year. That was one thing I did. I also did a happy half hour where we all got together for a half hour virtually and pounded beers and played trivia. So, you know, it could go either way with me. Very serious, very fun. And I try to do as many of those things as I can with my company. So awesome. That's me. Thank you so much.
Fantastic, Alec. Thank you for being here. We'll come back to Marsha hopefully if she's able to join. Oops, sorry. So yeah, Andy, take it away.
Well, thank you. I'm Andy Spector from the most underrated city in America, which is Philadelphia. At least I think it is. I guess I'm Philly pride. I'm born and raised. Professionally, I work at PwC, which is a large professional services company. I see we have leases from KPMG. We do obviously very similar things around advisory, which is our consulting practice, tax, and accounting. For me, from a professional perspective, I've had also an interesting career. I've done different things. I started my career doing ERP implementations, then moved to data analytics. And then the last 3 years, I focused in L&D. I was involved in a big digital program where we upskilled over 1,000 employees in data analytics, artificial intelligence, and robotic processing automation, which was an amazing experience. And now I'm part of the PwC's learning and innovation team, and I'm focused on how we better integrate all of our learning systems and tools and supporting our learners across the entire US firm. Personally, I'm as Alex mentioned, he has a lot of passions. I have a lot of passions as well. I love comedy. So I've done improv, taken several courses on improv. I've dabbled in stand-up comedy, which is incredibly tough. It's incredibly challenging. Try to get up there for 5 minutes and say jokes. I love sports as well. And I actually met Andrew through a course called Rite of Passage. So it's kind of taking all of his interests. And I'm in the process of starting a blog and writing articles about the intersection between pop culture and a lot of organizational development kinds of things.
Oh, that's cool, man. Have you started your blog, Andy, or?
I have. So I've written articles, but I haven't. I'm trying to developing a pipeline, and I'm going to publish them.
Yeah. Have a whole bunch of stuff ready. I got you.
That was one of the lessons of Rite of Passage. You just got to hit publish.
I know. I got to hit publish. I know, Andrew. I think you need to be my mentor again.
Hey, man. I'd love to read your stuff again.
Yeah, I'll share it with you.
Yeah, cool. All right. Thank you, Andy. And last but definitely not least, Lisa.
Thanks, Andrew. I, similar to what Andy just mentioned, I work at KPMG, which does similar stuff, tax, accounting, advisory. I specifically work for our learning professionals in our audit practice, audit and accounting practice. But I have previously, so I've been with KPMG since 2012. Previously, I've done other roles for our global firm in the learning and development space and across tax and advisory in the learning and development space. So that's my background. Traditional instructional design, came up through that, have my master's in that, very much focused on the design strategy within KPMG, working on a lot of cross-functional and global projects right now. Yeah. So, and that's where Andrea and I know each other from, is his training days starting at KPMG. So,
Yeah.
and now clearly he's expanded out. So, personally, this is not my house with the giant antlers in the background. I am upstate New York. So I'm based out of New York City, but I am right now upstate New York at a little cabin with some friends. And I think there's about, what we've counted, maybe like close to 50 plus dead animals around this house decorating this home. So it's a little aggressive there. But otherwise, yeah, I like to travel. Obviously, this has been hard with COVID. My family's all based out of Florida, so missing them. And yeah, that's me.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lisa. And Lisa is a near and dear friend, and it's so cool to have her a part of this as well in a kind of a work capacity.